you, Major. Thank you, Major Itzik Danino. My friend, in the entrance to our city, there is a big sign. It's written there, City of People. The bravery and the willing to sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice for the people here. The spirit won here, not the ammunition, not the terrorists. We have been here, witness to horror, to Holocaust, like ISIS. They go here, run into the neighborhood, and they don't willing to fight. Maybe they are professional, but they are not brave. Maybe 10 minutes after we started the fight with the terrorists, I called to the major. The major was here. The major told to the people to close the door, close the window. And I think that everyone in the new world that trying to understand us is have to be here, have to support the city, the heroes of Ofakim. We have here an amazing major that he lives also in the happiness, but also now when the times are bad. So my friends, my sentence, my big sentence here is that maybe we finish the fight, but we have to keep fighting to live here by the city of Ofakim, the city of people. Everyone that can help us by foundation, maybe in money, anything else to that people. We have here the major and his team, one of the best teams I ever saw, and to help us to support and to rebuild our amazing city. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. 2 hostages, 5 terrorists.
5 terrorists.
And you came through the top floor as well and at the bottom?
Yes, sir.
Right. This house behind me on the quiet street in Ofakim, in Israel's south, this was where in Ofakim a massacre happened with 50 Israelis dying just from this small town. But in this house behind me there was a 20-hour standoff with Hamas terrorists within this house holding 2 hostages, and the negotiations went on for 20 hours before the special forces, they were saying the SWAT team, went in both through the second story and through the front door then to clear, and both hostages were recovered alive, amazingly. So you'll be hearing from the son of whose parents were held hostage, and hostages were giving food, giving water, even giving medical attention to those holding them hostage to try and extend the amount of time. They were saying from both down and up the road there were people, not so lucky people, that were just massacred in their home by Hamas. But an unbelievable situation, and for such a small town like this where you see multiple policemen, 50 people over have died just from here. Everyone in the community has absolutely bared the brunt of this war here. But as well, the question at the end about what is proportional response. We see horrible acts like this, but also just over the road we can hear constant shelling outgoing into Gaza as well, and having a massive effect on the civilian populace there too. So I think it's maybe up to you guys to see where this then sits, but just horrible acts happened all over Israel on those initial days of the war. Oh, we have small arms fire. They've just told us to go down here. We think maybe they found someone here as well. So they are. Yeah, there's a lot of gunfire down there. I'm just waiting out. They're telling us to move away. I'm very on edge here. So as we know, they are still finding people in some of these areas.
Scenes here in Ofakim.
So we're waiting to see exactly what's going on here. And there's SWAT teams here. so we're not exactly sure what is going on. We may have had someone suspicious just in this other block here, which is where we've been basically all day.
I said get inside.
I said get inside. I'm saying get inside. They're telling us to get inside. We're rushing down here as well, on the other side of where we were. We're looking here.
Okay, we have to go inside now. האוטו פה, חיים, האוטו פה, אבל הם לא ייתנו לנו לצאת.
Getting us inside pretty quick.
Hey, please go inside. Go inside. There's nothing to see. Boom.
Something inside the building where a shootout happened the other day. And we're seeing something similar to this.
What do you say, bro?
It's okay? Hey, what actually happened?
We got a signal that there's a terrorist in Ofakim.
Okay.
Yeah, so we spread it all around.
Did they find him or are they still looking?
No, they said it's okay. It's maybe something went wrong.
Okay, right. Because I did hear some gunshots over here, I think.
No, it was a gun. Maybe
wasn't?
someone. How do you say that?
Yeah, charged a weapon.
Charged the weapon. Yeah.
Right, okay.
I'm Betal. I want to say that I'm a police officer. And I'm doing this interview just to make sure that everyone around the world will know the truth. I know what happened to us and my story. I called to my mom in 6:30 in the morning when we heard the alert. And I told her to go to the safe place. She told me that she hears shots all the time. I thought that she was kidding, and I told her it's only the bombs were really regular. She hung the phone. I came from my girlfriend's house. She lives 1 kilometer from here. I came here and I saw a lot of police officers and a lot of bodies all around the world, people that I work with them. As I said, I'm a police officer. And there's a friend of mine that got killed, that got murdered by those terrorists. I came and I joined the force that was fighting for my parents' house and fighting for their lives. And people that got killed to save my parents and everyone around here. I got neighbors and friends that got murdered. And I was shocked in the moment and I realized that this is my parents' house and I'm going to enter the house and I'm going to see bodies of them. I stay focused and I try to stay calm because I know that I need to help my friend and my friend needs me. I'm another soldier in this battle, so we need to be focused and go to do our job and kill those terrorists for what they've done to us. Not just for me, for the whole neighborhood, the city of Ofakim. They are suffered by those terrorists. A lot of, almost 50 people got murdered. So it's huge. As I entered the house, we broke inside, and I saw another police officer. He was talking to those criminals, and they started to negotiate. I came to him, I told him, I'm with you, what's going on? This is my house, they're my parents, what's going on with them? He told me that he's negotiating and he doesn't know. I was really shocked. By the way, all the time, meanwhile that we're standing on the step door of my house, and I saw those terrorists. It was like he was standing here in the stairs, and he pointing us with the AK-47. All the time, there was bombs and hand grenades throwing at us, and they were shooting all over the place. Next house to us, a family got murdered. The other house, there was a battle between our force to them. It was a whole battlefield. Time goes by, and I want to know what's going on with my parents. And suddenly I heard my mom say that she needed insulin shot. I'm sorry for my broken language. I hope you understand me, okay? And forgive me about it. I try to do my best. And she needed for an insulin shot. And she was screaming. Then I got a relief that she's alive. And then my father told her to shut up because they're going to kill her. So she needed to be shut up, and not speak at all. And then I told the other policeman, Arkady, he's a hero, by the way. He was been here all the time and negotiated, and he never gave up on my parents. So I own him a lot. I told him, my parents, I can hear them. That's their voices. They are alive. Now we've got hope. Time goes by, and my mother needs their insulin shot. So in the negotiation, we figured it out that the terrorists will come and give her the shot, because their insulin shot was in her bedroom, which is downstairs on the first floor. We managed to get them down, and then it was the worst sight of my life, and I will never forget it. As they go down the stairs, before that, my father warned us that he has a hand grenade, and he pulled the trigger off. So he maybe planned to throw it at us because there were 4 people in the doorsteps, or maybe he knew that if we will shoot him, he will fall down and the hand grenade will explode. So
How was he telling you? How was he
my
warning you?
father shot us. He has a hand grenade. He just told us, and he took the trigger off. And then he came down, and he had a big smile on his face. And I was, what's going on? What are we going to do? Because if I shoot him, the hand grenade will fall down and they explode, and we are in danger, and my friends are in danger. So we always kept talking. And my mama, she was really cool and tried to stay calm. And he held the hand grenade, in the other hand the trigger. He held her and put the hand grenade on her head. So you can't do nothing. And that's my mama there, and she's suffering, and I don't know what to do, how to help her. He came down here, and we tried to negotiate. He gave her the shot, by the way, because we told him it's not the way to die as a hero. If my mother will fall down and die from a medical situation. And time goes by, we hear a lot of people and the police officers that are murdered and wounded and need help, and we don't know what to do and how to help them. And all the time there's a battle next door, in the next house. And the SWAT team came here with their soldiers, and their commander told me that that I'm involved emotionally in this house because that's my parents. And he told me to step back. The immediate reaction for me was to push him and tell him, no, I'm going inside, that's my parent. And he told me to be calm and that he needs me to be strong. He looked down and I told him, do your thing, I'm counting on you and I love you. I will back down, I will not interrupt anything. I came to the other commander of the SWAT team and I printed the house. I know how the stairs goes, the rooms, where you can enter, and I painted and I drawing all the access and the exit from this house, and that's helped them because they want to come in from the other wall of the house, from the top, and I told them that is a brick wall. In the second room, there's a room that you can blow it and it explode immediately. It's not made of concrete, so it's much easier. It's made of wood, and that's helped them. And from 7 a.m. until 4 p.m. I was here, and then they told me to get off, and I did. And in 3 a.m. in the morning, almost 20 hours, that my parents are kept hostages in this house with 5 terrorists. That they have AK-47 and a hand grenade and RPG was also in there for 20 hours, over 20 hours, and then the SWAT team came and broke inside, and I just fell on the ground because I heard a lot of bombs and shooting, and I thought to myself, what's the odds that they will stay alive? One of them, or maybe get wounded. The SWAT team made a wonderful job. They killed all the 5 terrorists, and they saved my parents' life. And they get them out of the house. And I'm still not believe that this is happening. I'm with my parents. I'm touching them. I'm speaking with them, and I'm not believe that they are alive. And I'm not believe that none of them was got murdered by those terrorists. They are not criminal. They are much worse than that.
What language did you speak?
First of Hebrew, and then a police officer that is an Arab came and spoke in their language. There's no other definition than a miracle. I think that God Himself came down and kept my parents. If you knew my parents and my mom, you will know that they're more than good people. Everyone that came in this house, their hospitality is amazing. No one is living there if he's hungry. My mama, she's a joker, no? Yeah, you can laugh at her, but my mama, she have a streetwise that like no other. And she make them laugh, and she make them food, and some of them was wounded. So she helped them to how to say it? To bandage, yeah. And he told them that you need to relax, and they sang songs. I don't know how she managed to do it, but we knew all the time that if someone can do it, that's her. Yeah. You need to meet her and to know this person. She's really amazing, not just because she's my mom. Everyone loves her. She worked in her job in the military base for 43 years. Everyone knew her. She loved the soldiers, and she hugged them and she helped them. So I think this is why she got saved. That's it. Welcome. I need to say something, and I need you all to be focused on it, okay? Beside of what happened to my parents, there's a lot of citizens and police officers and soldiers that are murdered and kept as hostages in Gaza. Those bastards, I'm sorry for my language, and I'm trying to be calm, did a massacre to Israeli south part. In Ofakim, Be'eri, Urim, Re'im, Sderot. I'm serving in Sderot police station. 6 of my policemen are dead, got murdered by them, and he did a massacre. I want to say that everyone that show that this interview or whatever need to know that Israel wants peace. Israel not looking for war. We're not bad people. We are warm and loving people, but we need to defend ourselves. They came from Gaza and do this massacre, and now we need to save our country. I know they got brainwashed all over the world, and they get the misunderstanding what's going on. That's why I'm here and telling you. They are the terrorists. We are loving, and we're the only Democrat country in the Middle East. There's Arabs inside Israel, and they live here and they work here, and we have friends in the military, by the way. We do not have a problem with anyone. If they're trying to hurt us, what can we do? We need to save ourselves. So, and in other opinion or whatever, when this is over and everything goes to normal, I wish you all came here for good reasons, and you will love our country. You go to Jaffa and Tel Aviv and Jerusalem and also to Ofakim, you will see the good people of Israel, and you will see that we have a good food and good weather and good atmosphere and good vibes. And this is not also just war. Israel has a lot to offer, and I wish you will come back here for good reasons.
Maybe your mother's cooking. Apparently, it's very important.
Listen, she tell everyone, come and I will cook it, and I told her, you don't have a house. I say, it's okay, it's okay. That's my mama. That's it. I'm not know if I'm allowed to answer that. I must say I will talk in general, okay? If someone go to your house and murder your family, what would you do? That's it. We're not looking for war. They were killing babies. They took their heads off. They were killing people in any age, in any gender, no matter what. And they were slaughtering, there was massacre. It's not just going for a payback. This is war. And what will you do when you are at war? For your house. Listen, I'm standing on my house. There was a battlefield here. So in general, what will you do?
So even a week on, you can see how on edge the police and the military are here in Ofakim and these other areas near the Gaza Strip, that there could still be Hamas militants in areas like this laying low. Yes, it's been 8 days. Yes, it is somewhat unlikely, but it still could happen. Only yesterday we saw that the IDF had to engage Hamas combats and was swimming into shore just to the north of the Gaza Strip, and there's a big presence of naval small boats out in the water as well, which I will try and show you. But there's still a realistic threat. There are still people held down in areas like this, maybe in civilian clothing, we're not really sure, but still on edge, and that could still happen. As we saw that SWAT team come through, it was actually just down this road. I was filming over there, and it's just down here. I always find it incredible in any war zone I've been to, how quickly things just tend to somewhat normalise, I guess. Now, yes, there's bullet holes through things, and there's clothes, and there's still the smell of death in some areas and blood on the floor, etc. And heavy police presence, but there's people sweeping streets, there's people cleaning up, and there's buses running, there's people somewhat going about everyday life. And I saw this in Ukraine, I saw this in areas like Syria, and I see it here, that fairly quickly things go back to normal. It's something you wouldn't really expect. And I've spoken before about if you were to get picked up and dropped into one of these capitals where there's a war going on, whether it be Kyiv in Ukraine, whether it be in Tel Aviv, somewhere like this, you wouldn't really know that much was going on. Tel Aviv, with the exemption of occasionally having then the Iron Dome system, which I know is more active than usual. There, of course, there's a lot more going on, but you can still go to the airport, you can fly in and out. It's just an interesting thing that I've noticed about this. You'd think the doomsday sort of scenario that happens somewhere like this would never move on, where fairly quickly it sort of does, although those lost will always be remembered and always saddened. But it's just interesting how society is just this rolling thing. Something definitely worth mentioning here about Ofakim as well that I actually forgot in my other address was actually how far it is from Gaza. It's about 18 miles or 30 kilometres away from Gaza. So that just shows the breakdown in what happened now just over a week ago. What actually happened of the Hamas militants crossing this far. They made it 30 kilometres, held up in areas, massacred, butchered 50 people here. And this goes into those questions being asked of how did this happen? Of somewhere that is one of the most surveillance places on earth. There's soldiers there. Yes, it was a day of Shabbat, being a holy day, people on leave, but at the same time, very interesting of how that actually happened. They'd made it 30 kilometres in, butchered people, held up in areas, held here for over a day. So that is very interesting as well. You forget how far in that actually is. It took me to have a look on the map and go, yes, this is the area we were talking about. That it is a long way in. And those questions, I guess, need to be asked. And where will the faith lie in communities like this that are within that band of 30, 40 kilometres from Gaza? What is the future of those communities? Because will people go, well, this will happen again? We're not sure. We don't know how the operation is going to go down in Gaza, of the expected ground invasion, or what the future of Hamas will actually be in there. But I do think that is very interesting. They were able to make it this far in. We know Israel's had the very famous Iron Dome system that takes out basically any missile that's been coming into Ukraine for a number of years. All the cameras, all the sensors, the walls, the gates, all of this. Yet they managed to slip through not 1 or 2 kilometres, not just through the gate, but up to 30, I've even heard, 40 kilometres, 18, 25 miles in to Israel as well.